construction in the winter season presents challenges, both in terms of the building process and the work environment. The cold increases the risk of serious accidents. When the body's cold, reaction time is slower, and the safe handling of tools and equipment is more difficult. The starting point for the effective management of winter's challenges is planning. It's recommended to hold joint or trades-based meetings about how best to deal with winter operations. For example, it could be agreements about who does what regarding removing snow. Overall, it is, as far as possible, about avoiding the problems that cold conditions can present. This includes doing as much work as possible, indoors, under cover, and screened off. And the shell of the building must be closed as quickly as possible. Part of the planning is about assessing the need for stationary workplaces. Work that needs to be done in the same place over a longer period of time must take place in suitable buildings, sheds or tents. These workplaces must meet the same requirements as other stationary workplaces. Among other things, there must be at least 50 luxes of lighting. The best use of scaffolding and covering also requires good planning. Covering requires the following considerations: the location and number of fixings, stairs and hoists, noise, dust, ventilation, and so forth. When working on roof constructions, it's advantageous to cover the construction. This offers obvious work environment advantages, and one also reduces the number of days' work lost and costs for winter operations. Of course, the covering requires planning in connection with the construction process, for example, regarding the transportation of materials. Generally, such covering is excellent to have, because it prevents rain coming into the building. Wet access routes and walkways can cause falls and other accidents. Winter damp and rain also present a challenge regarding electrical safety, so cables for fixed installations should be hung up or buried. Some of the most important advice is keep wires and cables tidy. Only use equipment and wiring intended for the electricity panel. Only use fixed switches and contacts. Contact the responsible person regarding any defective electrical installations. Don't play electrician. Never replace smaller fuses with larger fuses. Well-planned traffic areas reduce the risk of accidents at the construction site. Vehicular and pedestrian traffic should be kept separate. The routes for vehicular traffic must also be able to withstand frequent snow clearance. Rain and melted water must be drained away. Routes must have appropriate safeguards or markings. From public roads and parking areas, one should be able to go in ordinary footwear to the changing room. The routes must be lit with at least 25 lux. In connection with the construction of temporary roads, planning should consider precisely what tasks they're intended for, especially what types of vehicle they must be able to bear. Traffic areas, open areas and workplaces, as well as scaffolding, must be cleared of snow, de-iced and be gritted. Already in the construction planning phase, it's a good idea to assess the need for snow clearing material and equipment. Equipment should be purchased in advance and put in storage. Groundwater and rainfall pose a particular problem in winter. Therefore, traffic routes and open areas must be drained to avoid mud formation. If excavation pits are left open for a long time, there's a risk that the sides will slide due to the weather.